The gas tank seems to be leaking, so we may blow the tow truck up today.
Sweet, this is fun.
Alright, today is Grandpa Sherman tow truck day. We're gonna build that thing, fix all the trouble that I caused playing in it, Hog Canyon. Put some new leaves under the back of it. We got those pieces to put in it, so we'll get them done. Why are you eating my candy?
Because it's there. So what's on the agenda today, Grandpa?
Trying to get some springs under this thing.
Yeah, I shouldn't need them. So we're putting 1 ton leaf springs under it, which it has half tons under it right now. So we're taking the leaves that came off of Landon's truck. They're going on this. We're doing a shackle reverse kit. So this goes up, goes onto the frame, so we can take the block out of this. It has a lift block on it. And it gets tons of axle wrap, ruins leaf springs. We're gonna fix that. We just gotta get the motivation to start. Once we start, things will go pretty quick, maybe.
Hanging upside down.
We're taking these out. These lift blocks are going away. New leaf springs. Looks like we're gonna need new U-bolts, some different shocks. Those are completely trashed. Yeah,
Do you have all the stuff?
we're gonna scrounge it up. The truck's getting some leftover parts, but they're as good as new parts mostly.
We gotta keep the Mad Max thing going on.
That was what this was from the start, was a
Leftover.
piece.
Yeah.
Here,
Got it
piece
one
there.
piece at a time.
Yep.
Yeah, leftover parts. And then we're gonna put a 1-piece driveline in it because it keeps destroying the carrier bearing with torque.
That way a little.
The new shop cat until it craps on my floor.
Then
And then it won't be the shop cat anymore. I guess we gotta cut these rivets off and take that piece out. We'll see if we have to do bumper bracket work.
Yep.
The gas tank seems to be leaking, so I'm a little nervous about plasma cutting back about around here. We may blow the tow truck up today. That'll suck.
Let's
No.
not do that.
How much gas is in it?
It's pretty much full.
That's better.
Why is that better?
Full tank's way less flammable.
Really?
Oh yeah. Fumes are what blow up.
Sweet, this is fun.
Gotta keep it interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, I'll get the tranny jack put under that.
That stinks.
You don't like PB Blaster smell?
Smells like turpentine.
Yeah.
I thought these were a lot straighter last time I saw them.
My goodness.
Looks like I got some work to do. Good time.
My gosh. Well,
Spring?
did they spring back out?
Yeah, that's
one
what
way.
the springs.
Got it.
You have no idea how many of those I washed.
I know, and then I can reuse them because they're clean. Well,
That's loud.
Maybe you will, huh?
that's not coming off very great. We're gonna end up cutting it off. It's seized up in the bushing. Alright, so we got a problem here. This bolt, it's normal on these old trucks. This bolt is seized up inside of the spring. The nut came off of it. I got it off, it's right there. But we can't get that out, so we're gonna have to cut the head of it off, cut that off, pry it out of there. Gonna be fun. See if we can get this thing cut off of here. One side. I think, but I got it. Got it out. Didn't ruin that. We can clean it right up. We'll go get another spring and get it in here and see how much we got to change. So the springs we're putting in it are like 2 inches longer. So we're gonna end up moving this backwards a little. Probably gonna have to get into some of this. But we'll deal with that. Our new leaf springs. They're new to this truck, leaf springs. So if you compare that one to this one, there's a big difference. A lot more leaves, it's gonna hold the load way better. Should have done it when we built it, but we didn't. We are currently in the middle of this. I just got those cut off the frame. We'll buff those up. Those were his overloads he had on it. I don't know where the other one went. Oh, right there. We got some stuff. We got to take this off. And then we've decided the bumper has to come off because our bracket needs to set right there. So these springs are 4 inches longer than those springs. So not just an easy replace a leaf spring like we hoped, but we'll make it work. Okay, I think the bumper is ready to come off of this thing. It's unbolted. I don't know if it's going to give it up or not, but this side's moving.
It's moving.
You're going to need a Mateo. There's one under that cap on that side a little. Okay. Let's don't break or tip the truck off.
Yeah.
Alright, we got it. Okay, well that's that. Well, let's get this off of here. Alright, now we can get some leaf springs in. Okay, that's what she's gonna look like. Somewhat. So if that goes up like that, this goes forward. Yeah, we're gonna have to get us another bolt. Have to unbolt some stuff. I gotta go forward an inch with that to get it where it needs to be. I'll start undoing that. Okay, I should be able to lift that thing up, cam it up into place. It should hold it right there somewhere.
Pretty much.
That's what we're going for now. That's what it's gonna look like. Should save no block down here, no axle wrap. We still have the same lift. Should have done that when we built this thing forever ago.
Yeah.
Would have been a better setup. All right, so this is our problem. One's too short and one's too long. We need one we need Mama Bear basically in the middle.
Yeah.
So Grandpa Sherm's headed to Cedar. He's gonna go over and get a U-bolt bent for us, and I'll get this side all tore apart and be ready to stuff it back together when he gets back with them. That's the perils of living in the middle of nowhere. You got an hour drive to parts. Usually try to plan ahead, but we didn't plan very well on this one, so we're paying for it. So Grandpa Sherm left to go to Cedar to get us some parts. I figured I would get this side all stripped out. Done that, I'm gonna get this spring ready to rock and have it all put back in here, so when he shows up I can just put some U-bolts on it and we can set it down on the ground and check our pinion angle. I'm afraid that I'm gonna end up cutting these off right here and rolling them a little bit to get our pinion angle right, but we'll deal with that when we need to. Meantime, I got a little grinding to do, a little buffing, and then I got to change this center pin out. I don't know if I've told anyone. So this is an overload spring and a spacer and a spring, and I'm going to take those out because we're going to run airbags on the back of this for overloads. We don't need those, so I'm going to tear all that off of it, put a new center pin up through it, and we'll be ready for Grandpa Sherman when he comes back. Grandpa made it back. There's our drive line tube. You got some U-bolts?
U-bolts, U-joints, seal,
Oh yeah.
all kinds of good
We're in
things.
business now. We'll get her put together. Now we're starting to come together. Starting to look like something just pulled in nice and tight. There's one side. We're going to use those for the airbag. Can't put the airbag over there,
Yeah.
so we're going to put it right there. This hand's not up to par yet.
Yeah. Let me see if I
You're going to have to squeeze that. She's getting better,
Yeah.
but it ain't up to par.
It's not quite there yet, huh?
Alright. Rear end is installed. Alright, we're gonna throw the tires on this thing and then set it down and check pinion angle and shackle angle. We just have them tacked in right now. We'll see where everything's at. Got it. So we need that on an angle backwards. So I'm gonna have to cut these welds loose, move it forward a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and that'll lower your rear end too. We'll see what it looks like. You couldn't just throw them away, huh?
No, can't do that.
Yeah, I like those angles. We can deal with that.
That looks pretty
Those
good
are
enough.
back pretty good. That should ride pretty smooth. We'll weld those suckers in and make them permanent. Then measure for a drive line. Get this thing on the road. It's setting. It's got a little bit of a stink bug look going on.
Yeah, yeah.
We may end up having to put a leaf spring in the front of this thing now. She's settled a little bit, but
I've
it's
been
gonna be.
calling load all the time.
That's right. He does already. He unloaded a ton of stuff out of this before we brought it in, so it looks pretty good though. It turned out pretty dang fair. We'll get a driveline build under it now and then go take it for a test ride, see how it works. All right, back in the shop this morning, bright and early. Just got that welded up. It's within 4 thousandths on that end, so it's good. We'll pull this end out when it cools down and get the other end put in and get it clocked, and the drive line for the old tow truck will be built. We finished with this thing today. We got, let's see, I got the drive line to do. We got to put the bumper back on it and a winch and some battery stuff. We got to run some cables. Oh, and brakes. We got to deal with brakes. So we got a full day of it, but we'll have it done today. I neglected to film the last part of the drive line, but it's built in. I just barely changed the pinion sill, and Grandpa's finding some bolts. We're putting a pinion guard on it. I'll show it to you in a second. He has it. We're doing some stuff today. So that winch right there is all weared out. It's junk. So we're changing that. I have an old Ramsey that a guy gave me for Landon's truck, but Harbor Freight gave Landon a brand new 12,000. So we're gonna put it on here, on there. And that old Ramsey is gonna go right there. We're gonna move those batteries right up to right there somewhere. So we've got some stuff going on. We're gonna get this truck a little more usable. Oh yeah, and the bumper. We still have to mount the bumper back on, but that's pretty easy. And we're gonna put his trailer plug right there. And a front U-joint. Forgot about that. I got to put in that front U-joint, and then this old truck's gonna be back up to snuff again. I can go whale on it some more. So, all right, this is the pinion guard. Goes on to protect your yoke and drive line and stuff.
All right, what are you doing?
Getting this pinion guard put on. So 14 bolts, they're big down here and they take a beating in this area, so this just kind of helps it all slide. Then we can slip our custom-made drive line up in place.
There's a lot of people that think that you say that wrong.
What? Drive
That it
line?
should be a drive shaft.
Drive shaft. But it's also a line, isn't it?
Tell us what the difference is.
I think it's half a dozen one, 6 of the other. I don't see a difference. But
They said it must be a Utah thing.
must be. I don't know. It's you can call it whatever you want. It does the same thing. It turns this pinion. So in Hog Canyon, this thing had a carrier bearing right here, and we annihilated the carrier bearing out there, so we're eliminating it.
You annihilated it, so you're eliminating it.
Yeah, we don't need it. And this part, Papa Dar gave to Grandpa Sherman. He had 2 of them when he started his Jeep collecting stuff, so free parts are free parts. We'll put them on.
Because I know parts really good, don't I?
You're pretty good at parts.
Now we're in the front end.
Fixing a bad U-joint in the front, it's pretty loose, and we're fixing it before it breaks. We'll get all this done, and the truck ought to be good for another 50 or 60 miles. Long road trip in it. Which, it's kind of funny, but I'm pretty serious, really. Oh, y'all put a new one in it. Yeah, junk.
Grandpa, what are you working on back here?
Moving the batteries from the side up to the front so we don't hit them as often.
So they don't go like falling around.
I'm going to tie them down so Paul can't dump them out.
Sounds like a challenge.
A challenge? Uh-oh. When I welded these things in, I just didn't think about taking them back out. I had one weld I could get a grinder to. The rest of them I'm going to have to chisel.
Uh-oh. That sounds fun.
Yeah. It'll make some noise.
Alright, so we're gonna put this here brandy new Spicer U-joint in. I like the Spicer ones over all the other ones. And
I'm sure somebody's not gonna like it. The Spicers.
Well, if they don't know what they're doing, because these are the best. So these are the non-greasable, the toughest ones they make right there. You can put like 4 of these in, or you can put 1 of those in.
What is that one?
This is like a AutoZone brand something. I don't know. When we built this drive line, it's probably like 4 different U-joints we put together and put it all in here. It's what we had, and now we're gonna put this in. First thing you do is take out that, any idea what that thing's called?
Because I know parts really good, don't I?
You're pretty good at parts. Right there.
The little nut.
That is not a nut.
The little bolt.
No, that's a grease cert.
Oh. Oh, I was close.
Alright,
That wasn't even that hard to take out.
you take that out. What do you think these things are called right here that I'm about to take out?
Little holder inner thing.
Little holder inner thingies. That's what they do. That's not what they're called.
They're called little rabbits.
They're like a snap ring.
Oh, a snap ring.
So they snap into the thing. I'm sure there's some other technical term for them. That's what I call them. How about this? Do you know what this part right here is? Look at it. What does it do? It goes. Think of it like a hat. It's a cap. A cap.
Oh, a cap.
There you go. That's a U-joint cap.
Oh.
What would this part be right here?
That would be the X.
I'll
part.
give you that. That's a
The
U-joint.
X joint.
It's the U-joint cross. So yeah,
See?
we'll give you an X. I mean,
Okay, thanks.
if you just twist it a little bit, that's an X.
Yep.
This way, cross.
Yep.
You got one.
I know, I'm good.
Good job. Okay, let's tear this thing apart. We'll come over here to the press. For every press, you need one of these broken sockets, basically, that fit on that perfectly. And then you just go ahead and push it right on out of there. Like so. Then you walk back over here. You put this in here like that. You pull it out.
Voila.
Then you do it again. Okay. Deposit that there. We're just going to use this thing right here and push it in a little. Then we're going to put these in. We got brandy new ones. Just like so. Okay, let me go get a chisel and I'll show you the last part. You got to make sure these are seated. If you can see right here, it's not in all the way. So you got to make sure that they go in. Okay, it's all the way in now. That one's in, looks good. I'll go put it back together.
Grandpa's using the belt sander. What do you think about that?
I like that. That is handy.
After this, what do you need to do?
We're gonna run some jumper cables to the back batteries and hook them in so that the batteries are getting charged. And then we're gonna put a brake lock on it so that you can push the brake and lock them on. So if you're winching or something, it'll stop. We don't have really any good way to stop it right now. And then we gotta bleed the brakes. But we're done under here.
Only made one little hole in there.
Yeah. Not so bad. All right, we're to this point. Old winch laying on the ground right there. New winch we got mound all welded up and put on. She should be good. We just got to put some wire on it and mount the batteries, and then this project back here's done. Then we're on to the brakes. I think we're gaining. We just got this thing all spooled up with some rope. Pull on it, let's see what happens. Like we knew what we were doing. She works.
Looks good.
One project fixed. All right, so I'm videoed from him, been busy, but jumper cables. Had an old set of jumper cables. We cut them off and fished them all the way to the back here. Ran them right up through the cab right there and tied them into this battery right there. So now we've got winch power all the time when it's running, so it'll keep this battery. You won't have to worry about it so much. Now we're doing the back of this. Hello.
I don't want to be on movie yet.
You're on it. Some fans just stopped by, chatted me up for a minute. But we got this thing. It's gonna go right there in that hole and hopefully avoid getting beat up so bad. That's the plan. That's the old one. It was pretty hammered. He'll get that done and I'll work on some brakes. We got this truck finished. Bumpers on it. I got battery. The tie down made up there. It's all in. Winch 1 work, or winch 2 works. Winch 1 works. We're done basically. We're gonna go take it for a test ride, see how everything works in it, and then we'll know if we did any good. Seems that we've got dead batteries. Our current state, we're trying to jump start it now. See if that's got enough juice. Oh, she's alive. We'll unhook this and go for a ride. It moves. That's something.
It doesn't vibrate going, huh? Take it off now.
Seems like we fixed that problem, huh?
Yeah, that's much better.
As long as it doesn't vibrate when you get up to speed, we'll see how that is. Feels like there's some little suspension in the back now.
Yeah, it doesn't flop around like it was.
Doesn't seem to vibrate anymore. Shifters aren't rattling like they were before. It's 55 and we're still cruising along, so this thing's fixed. When the airbags show up, we'll get those put on, but we got a lot accomplished. We didn't get the brake switch put on because we needed some more parts, so we'll get those and do a little more work to it. But for today, she's done. So we're on the way to the dump. Take a load of scrap metal, test the old trailer out and see how it goes with the load on it. It's not much of a load, but it's more than what it had on it a minute ago. That was the UPS man taking me some parts.
Stick that chatter now.
Yep, we fixed it. She's good. Rolling up to the dump, take our scrap and get out of my yard.
That's just a bunch of steel junk.
Yep, we'll put her over there.
Alrighty, thank you.
We'll see if the old dump trailer will come to life. Grandpa knows the combinations to make it all run. Our next project is going to be fixing that ground. 2 weeks is pretty bad. I got a couple hydraulic cylinders I'm going to put on it. Alright, our junk is out. She's fixed. Life is good. The old truck is back on the road again. So, until next time, thanks for watching.